Hello ladies and gents, this is Evan, your friend in some really exciting tutorials out there. Today I have another retouching Photoshop tutorial for you in which I will show you a really friggin' fast way of changing the color tones of your model. So we have a model and we want to change the color tones in order to make her or make him looking more fashionable. You know, the fashion photos always tend to look more bluish, more cold, as we can say, in the color tones. That way, we have to have some knowledge in Photoshop in order to change the color tones. But trust me, this is so easy. I'm not talking about changing the whole tone area of the photo. I'm just talking about the skin tones. And with a little trick in Photoshop, we will be able to fix the whole color tones of the skin in a blink of an eye. So let's just do it and convert this photo from that red tones to that, which is much more bluish, greenish tones, and of course that looks more fashionable. So I will just take away this adjustment and I will start fresh with this photograph. The only thing that I have to do is to go to the select, and then we will just go and select the color range. Then we will just go and select the skin tones. From here, we will go to the skin tones. And of course, then we will select the selection preview in quick mask. And of course, then we will go to the fuzziness at about 0. Of course, we have the detect faces activated in order to find the faces automatically the Photoshop. I know that many of you out there really hate the pen tool, hate the lasso tool and all the selective tools. This trick that I will show you, it helps you do the dirty job without any of those really cursed tools. So only this selection, only this color range will help us do the dirty job without touching any tool. That's why Photoshop is a great program, because it helps us go to the destination with, different ways each time. So the skin tones is activated, the detect faces is also activated, and then the fuzziness has to, be worked in order to select the color tones that we want. The trick is not to go to only few amounts, few numbers here. So let's say if I will just hit the 1, as you can see, I have almost the whole skin selected. If I'll go to 2, until to 10, you see that my skin tends to be more soft in order, in comparing of the 1. You see that the 10 is much more softer than the 1. Wonderful. So for me, the best setting is at about 50. The 50, as you can see, it also selects the background, but this happens because my background is white, is close to the skin, because I have a white model over here. But sometimes, most of the times, if you don't have a white background, it will not select the background. But even if you have a white background, it will work better. Trust me, if you just select a little of the white tones of the background and the table, and maybe also the clothes, the whole change of the tones of this photography, but for this photograph, but not actually the whole tone, just the color tones, that reddish tones, red, orange tones and white of the skin. If it will be altered, it will create a wonderful new feel. So at about 50, it will create a soft but really good selection that afterwards, if I will hit the OK, I will have it as a selection over here. So the selection is active. You see how wonderful job Photoshop did. It has selected the skin, maybe the hair, because the skin are close to the tones of the hair, as you can see that, and a little bit of the background. But more or less, we're ready. Then I will go to the curves adjustment. Of course, if you don't see the adjustments here, just go to the window and hit the adjustments panel. And then I will go to the curves. And of course, the curves, the RGB mode of the curves help me edit the brightness, the overall brightness of the photo. Right now, I'm just altering the brightness of the skin. So maybe the RGB should be the first stop for you because, a skin to be healthy has to be brightened. And of course, even my skin looks, the skin of this model looks awesome. I can actually make it more good looking. You see that? With just a tiny bit of brightness. Not so much, okay? Just a tiny bit. At about here, let's say. Just a click of a button. You see that? Wonderful. And then it will start the magic. Then we will change the RGB, the brightness, let's say, the overall brightness of the photo. And of course, right now we have the selection of the skin, and we'll go to the red. Of course, as you can realize, the red now affects not the brightness of the red, but the tones of the red channel. As you can see here, if I will just click here and go higher, it will make my photo, actually my skin, the skin of my model, more red. We don't really want that, okay? Just put it a little lower. And as you can see now, already my photo looks much more sexy than the previous one. You see that? Much more fashionable in a way. Then I will select the green, and then I will just go and play with the green. Maybe a little more green. Not so much, maybe less. You see that? I bring again the red tones now, but I think a little bit higher, just like that. Not so much. It will help us. Wonderful. And of course the blue, it will do the job, the main job for me. So now, if you go higher, you're producing a bluish tone that actually is really wonderful for the photo. And I'm done. Check this out. This is the after and this is the before. You see that? Already now my photograph and actually the skin of my model has a wonderful tones, wonderful blue and green tones that they are mixing together with the original tones of the skin, and that reproduces a wonderful fashion look for my model. Trust me, if you're working with outside photos or if you're working with black background photos, it will look much more better. So just give it a try and you will see that I'm not kidding you. And of course, last but not least, I always do that. I'm just reducing the opacity of my edits in order for those edits to be mixed and of course blended better with the original photo. So now this is my photo and this was my previous one. You see that? Great. So if you liked my tutorial, please like my work, share my work to your friends on Facebook and other media. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, because if you lose me, you will lose such many good tutorials, my friends. So subscribe to my channel and don't forget to keep photoshopping.